Thank you, Jake. Next question goes to Tom Withers.
Thanks, Rob. Thanks, Baker. Hey, it's supposed to be kind of a relaxing, reflective week in a way. Was it kind of stressful the last few days, though?
No, not really. I mean, it kind of is what it is. Circumstances, you deal with it and roll with the punches. I can't control it. So if I was worried about controlling it, then yeah, I would say it would have been stressful. But like I said, it is what it is. And luckily, I was able to get back in the building, get back to work.
Now, you did a lot of self-scouting, if you will, last week and with the coaching staff as well. Baker, what were the points of emphasis for you?
For me, looking at missed throws, some of the things that turnover plays, and looking at the reasons why, and just kind of reevaluating that and being extremely critical of that. And I think looking back at what we could have done better and learning from that, what we do well, what we don't do well, what we can grow from, and just all those things. But for me personally, looking at those turnover plays, the negative plays, and to see if it was just a physical mistake or a real decision error or things like that.
Thanks, man.
Thank you, Tom. Mary Kay Cavett, you have our next question.
Hey, Baker, we were out at practice today, seeing you out there, and, Nick is out there, and Wyatt and Austin, and it just seems like you pretty much have your full complement. So how did it feel for you to come back to that, to really almost a whole complete offense, obviously, except for Odell?
Yeah, no, it felt good to be back out there with most everybody, just to see those guys back. It's been a little bit longer for Nick and Wyatt. For Hoop, it's been a few weeks, but yeah, like you said, it's been good to have those guys back. So we'll see as the week goes on, but I know they're happy to be back as well.
Thanks.
Thanks, Mary Kay. Jeff Shadell, you're next.
Hey, Baker, when you were talking to Kevin earlier, he said you were ascending. Do you agree with that? And if so, why?
I would just say I'm continuing to put my head down and work. Like I said, after the game against the Raiders, we're not anywhere near where we want to be. And I think that's the positive outlook on it, that we're going to continue to try and get better and work. And that's like we talked about through the bye week and our self-evaluation process of where we're getting better and the things that we've grown from since we didn't have the off season to put this offense in and see what kind of team we were going to be. So we're learning on the fly. And I think this bye week came at a very good time for us as a team and just players wise to get healthy. So we're just going to try and get better.
Nate Orrick, you're up next.
Speaking of that, Baker, what did the bye week do for you physically? Obviously dealing with that rib. How much better are you now? Can you feel a huge difference?
Yeah, I feel a lot better now. Some much needed rest. It's it's amazing what just not getting hit on one Sunday does for you. I know a lot of our guys needed it as well. So I'm happy about it.
Thanks, Nate. Back to Jake Trotter.
Baker, when Nick went down with the injury in week 4, you guys were leading the league in rushing by a considerable amount, both in yards per game, yards per carry. The running game was still good, and you guys faced some pretty good defenses. But and as good as Kareem is, just getting Nick back, what does that do for the running game and just you guys maxing out your potential offensively?
Yeah, this is nothing against our other backs because we believe in those guys as well. But having that two-headed monster of those guys, being able to sub fresh legs in as needed, that's something that we're extremely blessed to have. And so we're excited to have them both back out there as well as the compliments of our other guys. But it's a huge part of our offense to be able to sub those guys in with fresh legs, and it wears on defenses. Later in the games when they're able to still be somewhat fresh, it's amazing what the grind, like the ground game, pounds on those guys.
Scott Patrick, you're up.
Hey, Baker, you mentioned some of the negative things you looked at during the bye. What about the positives? What did you like best about your first 8 games?
I feel like we're getting better. I think that the positive outlook was that we were getting better. You don't want to pat yourself on the back. You want to look at what we're doing well and see how it complements other things and try and put that together. So I think, done some good things to put us in position to win. But I think some of the turnovers were things that can easily be fixed. And to me, that's a positive. That's a positive outlook on they're easily fixed. And I can do that. I can manage that to give us even more position to win. later in games and as the season goes on.
And what's your mindset being 5-3 with, a chance to make a real run at the playoffs here, which hasn't been the case the last couple of years? How excited are you?
I'm excited to take this thing one game at a time, to look at the big picture mindset. Obviously that's the end goal, but we have to take it one game at a time. And I think our guys use this week to kind of hit the reset button, refresh, and get back to work. So we're excited about this back half of the year and the grind that it's going to be.
Thanks.
Thanks, Scott. We'll go to Derek Ryder next.
Hey, Baker, I know you talked about the ribs and them getting a week off. Unfortunately, you come right back and you got to face one of the premier rushers in J.J. Watt. Obviously, everyone knows what he can do. Just could you touch on your preparation to face him? And then also, what else are you seeing from that Texans front that you have to be concerned about that isn't just limited to J.J.?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, J.J.'s play speaks for itself. He's been a great player for a long time. So he's one of those guys you always have to know where he is in the field. Because they do move him around. They do that very well to where you can't just call certain plays knowing that you're going to chip and help him every play. They're going to move him around to try and give him opportunities. But they have other guys that are they're playing really well right now. I think with Merciless is a guy that playing against them 2 years ago is a guy that he's been a great player. Cunningham at linebacker. I mean, they have great players that have been playing together for a while. So, yeah, it's just the challenge as a whole is knowing where those guys are and just doing our job.
You mentioned that matchup a couple years ago. Can you take anything away from that game because it was a couple of years ago? I mean, do you go back and you look at that film at all, or is there any takeaways as you prepare for this matchup from that?
Yeah, I'd say pull my head out and don't turn the ball over multiple times in the first half, and we probably would have been in a better spot. That's probably about it.
Thank you, Daryl. Back to Mary Kay Cabot.
Baker, Coach has been talking a lot about how he's going to try to play to your strengths more and call a game more suited to you. So, and he talked about how you guys had good meetings with Alex Van Pelt. So I guess my question is, do you feel pretty excited about the edits that have kind of been made and what they have in store for you? And kind of, if so, what maybe will be one of your swing thoughts as you move forward into this second half?
Yeah, I think our meetings were extremely productive over the bye week. Like we said about the self-evaluation stuff, we not only looked at what we were doing well, but we actually had some time to sit down and talk about how I see things, how he sees things, and to really some of that stuff throughout the week that we're missing out on that we were able to accomplish. So I'm very excited about getting back to work, this last journey and this run that we're trying to make. And it started a long time ago, but hitting the reset button and being able to start fresh again is a blessing.
Thanks.
Thank you, Mary Kay. We'll go to Tom Withers. We need to make this our last one for Baker.
Thanks, Rob. Hey, Baker, I guess the good thing is that it was the bye on Sunday. Otherwise, you wouldn't have played. Is this your situation? Is that another cautionary tale? And with the numbers going the wrong way, across the league and across the country, are you worried about a significant disruption in your season?
Yeah, like I said, it's a full effort from everybody. Not only just players, but staff, families of the staff, families of the players. I mean, it's everybody has a hand in the pot, and it's so true because of the close contacts. It's not just